Okay, so this is the recording for November 21st. This code is actually going to be shared in the materials for um, November 14th, and I'll explain why. First things I want to do is really just quickly go over the fixes that I made to the component. Um, as you can see, I simplified the snot out of um, the error message. We'll talk about that as well. But what I really want to talk about is the changes I made to the directives. So the directive, as finished in class, would never have worked. All directives come in as strings. So we need to make sure that we know that mixed value is going to come in as a string. And then you got to parse it as an integer, and then we do the same thing we would have done with max value. The message and all those things were still correct. There's no issue there. I added the providers and the imports. That was the big things I changed, and I did the same thing for min value, except obviously it's a min value. Okay, and then I added it to a min value, max value. You can put it in quotes or not put it in quotes. It's really up to you. It works either way. I put the max value, min value, and of course must be int is there as well. And I'm going to show you that it works. So I'll remove it. It should actually be required, be the primary problem, but it knows that there was something in the field. So that's why it's showing that way. So here we go. Student needs to be a number. Because we're not checking them in order anymore, that's actually something I did here. If it's invalid, I just show the error message. But depending on the error message and the order in which they come in, you could get required, you can get it must be an integer, any one of those custom validators. So you really could get anything here. But let's go ahead and put a 1 here. It needs to be greater than min val, but put a 1.3. Oh, we still get needs to be greater than min. Oh, yeah, it's still right. And if I put needs to be an integer, right? So now we're no longer checking, which is the downside of this. And all I'm doing is rather checking what the problems are, I'm just showing the message that I received. However, it's going to grab the first one. It's not going to grab no matter what the order in which they were checked, it's going to grab the first one, the 0 element on the list. So that's why you're getting needs to be an integer here. And of course, needs to be less than max value, right? You could actually put in the message that, what the max value is. If I had to do it, and I wanted to show you this thing above first, but if I had to do it, I would do it the second way, because this allows me to check things like required first, and then bother with integer and so forth. It's just cleaner. But this works as well, and this obviously is much simpler. All right, so we're gonna do delete as well really quickly, but I'm gonna actually stop the recording because I'm actually sharing this with November 14th, not November 21st. So there you go.